Recently, I've been having a lot of people get affected by health concerns throughout the past maybe like a few months or so, which is luckily not extremely detrimental, but is still definitely concerning to a certain degree. But it just kind of had me thinking that while I was in the midst of researching everything that had been wrong with the people that I've been close with or the people that I love, it had me realizing that, well, not even realizing, this is something that I've known for a while. I think it just made it more apparent how unbelievably insane it is at the fact that, like, women's health is not really taken seriously or taken as seriously as men's health. Now, I have people that I care about that are both having different concerns with their health, both men and women. And of course, I feel like I can quickly Google search a lot of the cases for men's health, right? When there's a few things wrong, you can pretty quickly, especially as much as I hate it, with the use of AI, it can help summarize things and let you know what's happening. When it comes to women's health, though, it almost always constantly feels like there's an insane amount of speculation in terms of like what's wrong or what a woman is currently going through. And it kind of just has me like scratching my head considering the fact that I'm like, hey, why isn't the health of half the planet taken seriously here? Like, as much as I hate to say it, it isn't like the minority group. Like, it isn't 1% of the world to the point where you're thinking to yourself, like, oh, we haven't looked at the health of this specific group because it's such a small group. We didn't really take it into consideration, or these are such rare cases. But it's just like, I know so many women with a lot of similar health conditions that are barely taken seriously or barely taken into consideration. It's like, how? And isn't, if I remember correctly, don't women live like statistically longer than men? So I'm even more confused as to like why it's, I mean, okay, I know why women's health is not really taken seriously. It's because of how society has been run, the patriarchy, all that sort of stuff, and it's bullshit. But you would think that now, or at least within the last 20 years, that would be significantly better. And I know that when it comes to like equity and equality, we're still not there as of right now as a society when it comes to men and women, when it comes to anybody with any gender identity, when it comes to race and culture. We're not there, but things are luckily improving than whatever the fuck they were over the last like 50 to 100 years. But it's just insane because it's just like we are at such a peak with medical technology, but we're still trying to figure out what the fuck issues that have been here like forever are. It's kind of just got me thinking like, damn, bro, why why? And of course this is something that I'm saying is just a completely obvious fact to most, to any woman, to be honest with you. But maybe as a man, maybe me helping to bring attention to this is going to help. I mean, like, every voice counts, so maybe that's like a bit of contribution towards understanding. Because when those that I love get affected by certain things, I do my best to at least research any sort of ways that, of course, I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to be able to solve the cure to said issues and or diseases, but like maybe there's alternative ways to be able to help with comfort. Maybe there's ways that I can help ease issues or pains. Maybe there's some sort of dietary restrictions that can help affect things in a better light. I feel like it's best to just educate oneself because it's already so much to put onto one person, and the fact that they're already dealing with it too, that it would be nice to have some additional help or have somebody understand or be familiar with your situation, right? And not always have to like, especially when it's a safe space, right? Or somebody you would consider as a safe space. I just find it fucking mind blowing that it's like this hard and this foreign, I guess you could say, when it comes to just healthcare practices. But it's nothing like the common cold. This is something that severely affects people's lives, and it even result in death sometimes. In saying that, I know that like when it came to clinical trials and studying women's bodies, that shit wasn't taken into consideration until like the last like 30, 40 years, maybe, I think. Like it is still a very, very recent thing. But I would think that with how much we've neglected women in terms of that, we would maybe, I don't know, ramp it up a fuck ton more to be able to catch up a little bit faster in comparison to men's health. Because, yes, although we are all human beings and a lot of our bodies run similarly, I think it is also fair to say that women have a different system than men, and therefore that should be accommodated towards. I'm not an expert, but maybe it's just good to have the conversation going in the first place. I think it's bullshit. That's just a few of my thoughts. Leave.